Hello again guys, welcome back to round 6. This is the feature race with your tier 1 drivers from the Aero League Racing, and we are at Fuji Speedway. Obviously we saw the sprint race, didn't we? The heavens opened and that threw in a few shenanigans, but Viking came out the victor in the sprint race. Obviously being a reverse grid as usual and a rolling start. So we've got Andy Winters, he's lining up on pole. We've got Chris there in 2nd place, TX is in 3rd, Lars is 4th, we've got RZ in 5th. Aero GT 6th, Kyle is 7th, Owen is in 8th, Ben is 9th, Isaac Mitch 10th, Marco is 11th, Rayo Chan 12th, Iggy in 13th, BX is 14th, and Viking Dog in 15th. So we had 16 guys, didn't we, in the first time round? So somebody not managing to get in for the feature race, but perhaps mechanical issues on the car. We'll try and work out who it is as the race unfolds. Without further ado, let's get into it. So rolling start as usual, we'll be waiting for the lights. Obviously you won't see the lights, we'll just have to listen for the tone. There you go, they're off. You can see the green lights above the barrier there, above the start finish line. So Andy Winters retaining that first place through turn 1. Chris is going to follow behind him in 2nd place. We've got TX there in 3rd. We've got a few moves being made in the background. Lars is there in 4th, RZ 5th, Aero GT 6th, Owen 7th, Kyle 8th, Isaac Mitch 9th. Looking like he's under pressure now from Marco and Ben, who are in 10th and 11th. Isaac Mitch holding that 9th place for the meantime. We've got Ben and Marco having a battle in the background. Ben's going to come off out of that, isn't he? No, Marco managing to get through. Ben actually losing a place there to Rayo Chan as well. They're actually neck and neck at the moment as they come down into the final sector. So Rayo Chan, he's managed to move ahead of Ben now. Ben dropping to 12th place. We've got Iggy there. Iggy currently 13th, trying to make up a few positions as well, trying to make his way through the field. BX in 14th and Viking Dog in 15th. So the 3 fastest guys now trying to make their way through the field. Ben getting a little bit bundled out there. He's dropped to 14th now. BX is going to get past him as well, surely. Oh, we got somebody off, one of the Porsches in the background. That was Owen. Owen's off. He's going to rejoin in 15th. So we will go on board with a race leader as he is still being challenged now by Chris. Chris now starting to have a look up the inside. And he gets that move to stick. So Andy Winters now dropping to 2nd place. Chris is up to 1st. Andy Winters now under some pressure from TX. TX in the M6, he had a bit of a sketchy sprint race, didn't he? I think he wanted to write that one off, so now trying to assert his dominance in this feature race. Obviously still early doors at the moment. Only 2.5 minutes in. Iggy now up to 7th, so Iggy on a charge. Lars is there in 4th place, still holding Aero GT off in 5th. Kyle 6th, and Iggy up to 7th now. So Iggy definitely making up a few places there. I think some of the guys battling and he's come off better out of that. So Isaac 8th place, Marco currently 9th, Rayo Chan is 10th. Being followed by Viking Dog and BX, 11th and 12th. So they are starting to come through the pack now. RZ 13th, Ben 14th, and Owen all the way down in 15th. Chris now though starting to look like he's started to pull away from the rest of the field. Andy Winters is under some pressure from Aero GT. He's managed to get that move done on TX. He's moved up to 3rd place now as Aero. He's going to be trying to take that 2nd place away from Andy Winters. Andy is covering off the inside early. He's going to have to stay there though, isn't he? Because TX, he's got to worry about TX as well. Defending against 2 cars at the moment. Aero trying to get a long way around. I think he's managed to get it done already, but Andy Winters coming back on the inside. Is he going to get that switch back? I think he is. And he has. So moving back up to 2nd place momentarily, but Aero is going to have the inside for this next one. Aero looking like he's got a bit of lag on the go at the moment though, so Andy may be a bit tentative about trying to get that move done. not wanting to have any contact. But this battle for second place really starting to heat up now. And with these guys battling as well, that's just going to allow Chris to extend that gap. But Aero now up to second place. Andy dropping to third. He's now under pressure from TX. Behind him in fourth place. Iggy there in fifth. TX almost pushing Andy Winters through that last sector. Oh, and Iggy going for a late move there. He's gone for a late move up the inside. I think he's moved up to fourth place. He has. He's got that move done. Oh no, Kyle into the back. Of who was that? I think it was TX, wasn't it? Into the back of TX. TX now dropping down to 12th place. I think that one's definitely going to be one for the stewards. As I say, I'm not a steward in this one, so don't take what I see as gospel, but it did look there like Kyle collected the back of TX there and sent him off into the shadow realm. Closing right up onto the back of Iggy there as well. Let's hope we don't see a repeat of that that we saw before. Iggy doing well at the moment though, managing to finish third in the sprint, currently up to third in this feature race, opting for the mediums in the first split, or the first stint. Kyle all over him now though. Kyle looking for that move up the inside. He's going to get that move to stick. I don't think he's going to get it to stick around that turn. He's had to slot back in behind. Iggy looking really quick at the moment. Aero GT up to second place. I did say in that first race, in the sprint race, he looked a bit uncharacteristically out of position. He looks pretty strong now though. Can he stay up there in second place? Chris with a nice gap now. Still the race leader, but Kyle still pressuring Iggy. Kyle looking like he has got pace in that BRZ. Can he manage to get past the Volkswagen BGT of Iggy? Iggy not making it easy. Both taking very similar lines. Kyle almost following in the wheel tracks of Iggy. All up in his gearbox at the moment. Just going to stay on board with these guys. They come into turn one. I don't think Kyle is close enough at this point to go for a move. Iggy maybe. He's closing on Aero, but Aero looking like he's going defensive at the moment. So, and Kyle actually looking like he outbraked himself a little bit there. I think he lost a bit of momentum through turn one. I think he's got them other two cars starting to bear down, and then now Viking Dog and Isaac Mitch. Viking Dog getting that move done on Isaac Mitch. But no, Isaac's managed to hold it around the outside. Oh, goes deep. He did go deep, and that has allowed Viking through. So Viking is up to fifth place. Isaac Mitch down to sixth now. Marco is there in seventh place. Then we've got Reo Chan now being challenged by BX. BX trying to find his way through. Reo Chan has actually looked like he's got some pace in that Lambo, hasn't he? Not a very easy car to drive in GT7, but he is making it work at the moment. So maybe he's had a bit of a buff in the last update, not too sure. As Marco getting the move done on Isaac Mitch up ahead. Marco up to sixth place now, Isaac down to seventh. Reo Chan and BX, can BX get past Reo Chan? Still really putting the pressure on, isn't he? We've got Ben not far behind as well in 10th place, so Ben he's still in it. Still keeping RZ behind him in 11th place. Then we've got TX unfortunately having what looked like a bit of contact to the rear, sent him off into the shadow realm, and yeah, he's got his work cut out for him now, hasn't he, to try and get back up there. Andy Winters currently 13th place, Owen up to 14th after that early mishap. And Lars all the way down in 15th, so Lars must have had a moment somewhere. We'll go back on board with these two, because Owen looking like he's got the slip on Andy Winters. Andy Winters covering off that inside early though. Now he's giving him the squeeze, isn't he? Owen having to go the long way round. Will he get that move to stick? Not that time round. Tiep's looking like he's on the back foot as well though. Tiep's having to cover off that inside early against these two who are starting to approach very quickly on him. Look like Andy Winters almost going into the back of him as they came into this fast sweeping sector. Owen's still trying to fight back against Andy Winters as well. Is he going to get that move done? He looked up the inside, didn't he? Looked like he was close enough, but Andy's just done enough to stay ahead. I'm sure Owen would like to be up there in the top 5 though, wouldn't he? Oh, and we've got some changes up at the top. So Chris still out in first place. We've got Iggy now in second place. Kyle getting shuffled down the order. Viking Dog is there in third. No, Kyle managing to retake that position. What a move there from Kyle. So Kepilero's been shuffled down the order to 5th place. Viking Dog and Kyle. Massive scrap happening between these two. Kepilero trying to get involved as well. He wants a bit of the action. But Iggy now finding his way through to 2nd place. He's free to start trying to challenge Chris. If he can get onto the back of him. Chris has got a nice gap now though. You can see that there in that shot. 10 minutes into this 40-minute endurance, and Kepilero pulling out against Kyle, was it? It looked like he may have had the run. Viking Dog's going to have to cover off the inside early. Kyle doesn't like, he's got a momentum. He's going to have to go the long way round though. They're almost 3 wide as they come into turn 1. Almost managing to get that move done, but Viking Dog kept his nose in there. Oh, huge scrap going on here for 3rd place. I wouldn't want to be Viking at the moment. He's having to defend against, and another car has come into the picture as well, so Viking Dog now having to defend against 3 cars. He's got Kepilero GT there, Marco and Kyle. Marco managing to move up to 5th place. He's got that move done against Kyle. He's trying to get it done against Kepilero as well. Oh, well, I think there was a tiny bit of contact. Kepilero doing really well at the moment to keep them behind him, and Viking Dog as well doing well to stay ahead. He's actually starting to creep up onto the back of E again, so maybe them two can work together to try and get onto the back of Chris. I'm sure he's going to be wanting to try and get away from Kepilero and this gaggle of cars that are forming behind. And BX creeping into the mix as well, so from 2nd to 7th, all very close now, within a few seconds of each other. And in fact, I think a few more cars starting to join the fray as well. As Marco now up to 4th place. Is he? No, Kepilero has managed to, in fact, they're side by side as they come down the start-finish straight, 48th time. And Marco pulling out, looking at the inside of Kepilero. Is going to get that move to stick. Kepilero holding it round the outside. Plenty of space given there between them two guys, and Kepilero has managed to hold it. Marco is putting him under a lot of pressure now though, isn't he? Kepilero showing him the long way round, but he's going to have the inside into this next hard braking zone. Oh, and unlucky there. Kepilero's actually just picked up a whole second's worth of penalties, so that's allowed Marco through. BX has managed to get through as well, and he's going to lose more positions, isn't he, once he serves that penalty. So Iggy, Viking Dog and Chris, bit of breathing space for them now. Marco heading up this next gaggle of cars. We see 5 cars there, all very close to each other. BX trying to go the long way round on Marco. I don't think he's going to get it done there. I think his best opportunity would possibly be as they come into turn 1. Oh, and Kyle coming back again. So Kyle feeling like he's still got pace in that car. He's trying to retake that position away from BX. BX doing all he can to stay ahead of him. No, there was contact again. Kyle just grazing the rear bumper there of BX, nearly turning him round, but BX luckily held on to it. Kyle is looking very aggressive this evening, isn't he? So BX still in 5th place. Now it looks like he's managed to creep a little way away from Kyle. Maybe Kyle not close enough to try and go for a move now into turn 1. He's having to defend against Reo-chan as well. Reo-chan trying to get a long way round. He's got it done. I know he's outbraked himself. He has outbraked himself, so Kyle managing to come back. and retake that 6th place. Ryo Chan still all over the back of him though. He's going to be looking up the inside as they come into this next turn. Not close enough that time round. But Ryo Chan looking like he's got some severe pace in that Huracan. He actually did manage to get that move round the outside there. He just carried so much speed, didn't he? He's got the inside for this one. He will surely take it. Kyle with the opportunity for the switchback maybe. Not that time round. So Ryo Chan now up to 6th place. Kyle is there in 7th. RZ is 8th. Keplero now down to 9th. That's unlucky, Keplero. Maybe them tyres starting to feel a little bit worse for wear as well. A bit second hand now. We'd probably be wanting to go into the pits and change them for the mediums. Owen, he's back up to 10th place. Tieps, he's managed to make a place. He's up to 11th. Andy Winters is there in 12th. Isaac Mitch all the way down in 13th now. What happened to Isaac? Ben, he's down in 14th. And then Lars in 15th. He's trying to challenge Ben for that 14th place though. He's all over his bumper at the moment. Is Lars. No, I couldn't actually work out who is missing from this race, but Chris is still out in 1st place. He's still your race leader. He's got a nice bit of breathing space now to the rest of the field. I think he'd be happy with his performance at the moment. Putting in fairly consistent laps as well. A lot of 139s on the board, a few 140s. The fastest lap currently held by Viking Dog with a 139.3. And Iggy are still in 2nd place, still holding off Viking Dog in 3rd. Obviously Viking Dog, he took the win, didn't he, in the first one in the sprint. He's had to come all the way from the back of the field. As has Iggy. Oh, bit of a moment there from Iggy. He saved it though. Perhaps some tyres. Yeah, the tyres are definitely going to be starting to feel a little bit old now. So Viking Dog, he's closed that gap to Iggy now. There was a bit of breathing space, wasn't there? But he's managed to close up. But Marco also not far behind. Be interesting to see when these guys start to pit. BX still in 5th place, but Ryo Chan, I said it looked like he had pace in that Lambo, and he is all up in BX's grill at the moment. Is he going to be able to do anything down into turn 1? I don't think he's quite close enough this time round, but he is closing that gap. And he thought about it, didn't he? He did think about it. Intelligent racing there from Ryo Chan. He thought about it, but knew he wasn't close enough, so thought better of it and pulled back into the slipstream. Managed to get through turn 1 unscathed. Lives to fight another day. Actually putting it in the purple sector there as well. So Kyle down to 7th. What can he do? He's been looking pacey all evening, hasn't he? Maybe he can still fight for a few more positions as BX actually picks up a whole second's worth of penalty. Where did he get that? That isn't going to help him. That is going to allow Ryo Chan that position quite easily. So we are just going to stay on board with BX just to see where he drops after serving that penalty. That's unlucky, BX. BX, cousin of BA, Baracus. Ain't get on the plane. He's also going to lose that 5th position. So Ryo Chan does move through quite easily. I think Kyle going to be able to get through as well. He's actually had to pull in behind BX. No, he is going to get that move done, yes. He did have the momentum as he came down the start finish straight. That does just kill your pace, doesn't it, them seconds worth of penalties. So BX got a little bit of work to do now to retake them positions. He's lost a little bit of time to Reo-chan, but he's not too far off the back of Kyle, so maybe he can still get that position to Kyle before they start to pit. I think strategy is definitely going to be a factor in this one. This is quite a high tyre wear track. The tyre degradation is at a premium. So Aero trying to get the move done against Owen, or has Owen just got that move done against Aero? I think maybe Owen trying to get the move done against Aero. Trying to get onto the back of his teammate RZ, who's up ahead in 8th place. Just ahead of Aero. Tieps back up to 11th now. Andy Winters there in 12th. Isaac Mitch 13th. Ben 14th. Lars 15th. So I think we're going to have to wait for the pits to start seeing any more sort of action, although I think... Oh, Viking Dog now managing to take that 2nd place away from Iggy. We missed that one, but he's up to 2nd place, so Iggy dropping now to 3rd. So this is where the action is at the moment, as they are going to start coming into the pits now. 5 cars in, 6 cars. No, Iggy stayed out, Iggy stayed out. So that was a dummy. He went in, he tried to make it look like he was going in. He decided to stay out. Favoured track position. Left it right to the last minute to pull back on to the track. Chris has stayed out as well, so he's also favoured track position. It's looking like he may possibly even get a 3 pit stop at the moment. It looks like that's what he's trying to work on. Just not putting a foot wrong. He stayed consistent in this feature, and he managed to use that reverse grid to his advantage. And fair play to him as well. Look at that gap he has created. As long as he doesn't have any moments, then he's looking good at the moment. Iggy back up to 2nd after Viking Dog pulled into the pits, so choosing to stay out for another lap or 2. I'm not too sure how many more laps he's going to stay out for. He has got a few more laps left in that tank, and definitely on them tyres, so maybe he still feels quite comfortable on them warm mediums. I think ideally wanting to take him up to the 25-minute mark possibly, because then he's only got 15 minutes to do on the softs, so you would expect the grip to be a lot better for the rest of the race. So Reo-chan is now up to 3rd place. Oh, these guys are going into the pits now though. Chris is now into the pits as well. Reo-chan into the barrier. That's unlucky, Reo-chan. So Kyle favouring to stay out. He's favoured track position. He's going to move up into the new leader of the race. Be interested to see where he ends up once he does come into the pits. Either an absolutely genius strategy or it's going to be his undoing, but you never know, that gap may be big enough. I keep mentioning it, don't I? There is a window that you can build, and if you build that window enough, then you can get into that pits and back out without losing track position, which is possibly what a few of the guys have tried to do. But we will stay on board with Kyle as he comes through the final sector. I can only imagine he's going to be pitting this time round, or will he try and extend again? Because the guys behind him are going to be on fresher tyres, so they will surely be able to start chipping into that time. So Kyle actually choosing to stay out for another lap, so maybe, as I say, maybe he's feeling, it's looked like he's felt like he's got pace in that car all night. He's been going for some quite aggressive moves, but fair play to him. A lot of them have come off. There's been some sketchy incidents as well, but he's looked like he has had pace on that BRZ, so maybe this is what this is his tactic, is to try and create that gap, as I say. Maybe get the free pit stop. Because he is a good few corners ahead now, isn't he? We are going to have to check in with the rest of the field soon, though. So Lars is now in second place. That is Kyle's teammate. So Lars actually staying out. He's not been into the pits yet. He's still on worn mediums. As we have 3 cars. They're almost 3 wide in the background there. Chris moving up to third place, getting that move done against Viking Dog. But these 3 guys, Viking Dog, Chris and Marco, all very close to each other at the moment, all within a second. And they are chasing down Lars up ahead in second place. Oh no, it's got a little bit congested. Viking Dog's come off better out of that. He's moved up to second place. Lars dropping to third now. Who's off? Who's off? Oh, Chris. So out of that bit of contact where he got a bit congested through there, I think Chris came off worse. He's dropped to 7th place now. Oh, Lars managing to get a move done on Viking Dog. And like Viking Dog just going really slowly through there. I don't know if he maybe was letting him retake that position. Perhaps felt like there was a bit of contact as he's... What the hell's going on? So Lars... Oh, I think Lars may be into the pits now, following his teammate. So Viking Dog will move up to be the new race leader. Will Kyle come back out? No, he's filling up the car, so he is going to drop down the order. Where will he come out? So Marco now up to second place. Closing right up to the back of Viking Dog there. Iggy back into third. BX not too far behind now in fourth place. What can he do? Can he get onto that top 3 and try and steal a podium? Chris there in 5th place. Kyle has come back out in 6th. He's now under pressure from Owen though. Owen's going to surely get that move done. Kyle did well to hold it though. He is going to be on fresher softs though, isn't he? He's only just pitted, so... Bit of a twitch there on the exit. So Owen's 7th place, his teammate RZ there in 8th. Rayo Chan in 9th place now. He'd made up a few positions, hadn't he? What can he do before the end of the race? Aero GT is there in 10th. Isaac Mitch in 11th, but he's got a 1.5 second penalty, so that might bring him into the clutches of Tieps, who is not too far behind in 12th. Couple of seconds down the road at least. TCR Andy Winters is there in 13th. Then we've got Ben 14th and Lars, last but not least, in 15th. So Viking Dog still leader of the race. He's come all the way from the back of the field all the way to the front, bringing Iggy with him as well for company, and BX not too far off them as well. But at the moment, looking like the battle for first place is between Viking Dog and Marco. He's not quite close enough to be able to impact that battle at the moment. He's going to be working on it though, isn't he, through these coming laps. 27 minutes in now. It's looking like the Corvette's definitely suffering with more adverse tyre wear than the Lexus of Marco. Iggy is nearly there, isn't he? He's almost in that slipstream range. BX still a couple of seconds down the road to Iggy, but you can definitely see him now. He can sniff that petrol, sniff the fumes of that Volkswagen VGT. Chris, not far behind in 5th place. He's a couple of seconds off the back of BX, but he's got a nice bit of breathing space to Reo-chan. Reo-chan, he's gone from 9th to 6th in a couple of laps. I didn't even see that. I'm sorry, Reo-chan. He's looking like he's on fire tonight in that Lambo. That Lambo looking absolutely rapid. As Owen trying to come back against him, but at the moment, Reo-chan doing everything right to stay ahead. It's looking like Kyle's just managed to put that BRZ in between the two Porsche teammates of Owen Narzed. Kyle has looked rapid tonight, hasn't he, in that BRZ? So Owen's still trying to close up onto the back of Reo-chan. He almost glanced off his bumper there. It has got some great cornering speed, hasn't it, the RCZ? I mean, the 911 RSR. That BRZ as well looks like it's definitely not a slouch tonight. It's no slouch tonight. RZ is there in 9th place. Capellero GT in 10th. Trying to make his way back up through the order. Isaac Mitch 11th. He had a penalty, didn't he? And I said that might have brought him into the clutches of Tieps, and Tieps not too far behind him now, but he has got that 0.5 second penalty. Ben is 13th currently. Andy Winters 14th. So we've had a retirement and we had one non-starter in this feature. Viking Dog still in 1st place. With 9 minutes to go, is he going to be able to take them softs to the end of the race? We'll have to wait and see. I think Marco behind him also on the softs, but they definitely look a little younger. He's not used as much of that rubber. Marco really starting to pressure Viking now. I think he's realised that he's got the grip advantage. Just seems to be able to lean on them tyres a bit more through the corners. And got on board as they come down the start-finish line for the 19th time. This will be the start of lap 20. Marco does look like he's got the momentum, doesn't it? But Viking Dog's going to hold that inside line. He's going to defend that inside. He's going to show Marco the long way round. Can Marco pull it off? No, Viking Dog's still there, still ahead of him. He's looking up the inside again. He pulls out, goes to have a look, but not close enough to get that move done. So Viking Dog doing really well to keep Marco behind him at the moment. He's making that Corvette as wide as he possibly can. Not giving Marco an opportunity to create a gap and go for a move. Does look like a bit of smoke coming off one of the tyres there at Viking Dog up ahead. I think that's that tyre where it is starting to come into effect. He's going to start feeling a bit of understeer, maybe a bit of oversteer as well. Oh, that's a very deep line out of the exit of the final turn. Doesn't land him with a penalty though, so that's all good. Is Marco going to get the run this time? He thought about it, didn't he? But thought better of it. Now trying to go for the switchback. Not quite managing to get that to work either. He has got his work cut out for him, hasn't he? Viking Dog not making it an easy job to get that pass done. He's just putting the car in the right position every time. So Marco doesn't start to get a little bit frustrated. Iggy not really managing to close that gap either. I mean, there's a couple of car lengths between them, but as he does close right up there, it's getting very close now between these top three. It could be anyone's at the moment. Anyone could come home the victor of this one. Look how close the top three are. Incredibly close now. I think I'd say they're all within half a second at the moment. The top three. Iggy dropping off slightly through the exit of the final turn. They're going to start lap 22. Viking Dog still the race leader, but under some immense pressure now from Marco and Iggy. They both want that first position. He's got to defend against both of them as well. He's going to have to cover that inside line. Iggy trying to get a long way around both of them. And then thinking about the cutback. Oh no, there's contact between Marco and Viking Dog. Marco's just been spun around, that's unlucky. It was just, I think that was a racing incident. I think it was just, they were very close between all three of them. And that was just unlucky there for Marco to be on the outside. I think he just dipped a wheel onto the curb, possibly onto the grass, and the contact didn't help, and obviously just spun him around. That was unlucky there, Marco. I mean, you never know. It may, the stewards may rule it in your favour. Maybe they'll decide that perhaps Viking could have waited, but obviously Iggy was there as well. Now these two, Iggy and Viking, are fighting for the lead of the race. Iggy looking like he's still got pace in that VGT. Coming through the final sector for the 22nd time. So that's allowed BX now. BX back up onto the podium as Marco has dropped to 6th place. I don't think he's going to manage to be able to retake them positions by the end of the race, but we'll check in with him just shortly. And again, that is unlucky, mate. Very unlucky. It's just not really a place you want to be, is it? Coming around turn 1 of Fuji on the outside there, but maybe you could argue more space should have been given, but then Iggy was in the fray there as well. I think you were nearly 3 wide through turn 1 as Iggy tried to come for the switchback. But Iggy now managing to get that move done. He's managed to move up to 1st place. It's a fair play there, Iggy. And Viking Dog, he does look like he's leaned on them tyres a little bit too much, and the grip deficit is just too much now. I don't think he's going to be able to retake that race lead, but you never know. Don't write him off just yet. We've still got coming up to 2 minutes left of this feature race. And BX's tyres actually look a little bit worse for wear as well. Not too far behind in 1st place. He is starting to catch Viking Dog, but maybe too little too late. I think he's just going to have to settle for 3rd place. So we've got Chris in 4th, Owen is in 5th. Marco now down to 6th. That's unlucky Marco. He's going to be trying to make his way back up through the field, maybe able to salvage a couple of positions, but not too sure. Kyle 7th, RZ 8th, Reo-chan 9th. Was Reo-chan getting that move done against RZ? Has he? No, RZ managing to hold it. So Reo-chan 9th, Isaac 10th, Keplero 11th, but he's got that penalty, so he's going to drop off the back of Isaac now. Tieps 12th, Ben 13th, Andy Winters 14th. So we'll go back on board with Iggy. Who is starting what may be the final lap of the race. So Iggy finishing in the top 3, I think, in the sprint race. He would have also come from the back, as did Viking, all the way to the front, and BX was there as well, wasn't he? So these 3 guys all the way from the rear of the field all the way to the front again. And we have seen some absolutely cracking racing around here tonight, haven't we? And yeah, as I said, Viking Dog's tyres completely dead now. That front left has left the chat. His fuel actually looking quite low as well, so maybe he's either very good with predicting how much fuel, or maybe that's an error in strategy. We saw somebody last week, I think it was, or a couple of people last week, running out of fuel, didn't we? So Chris in 4th place, still being challenged by Owen in 5th. I think we may have to go back on board with the race leader. Yeah, this is the final lap, and Iggy's done just enough. Providing he has no moments, that is where he shall surely finish. So Viking taking the win in the sprint race. Iggy is going to take the checkered flag here in the feature. Well done, Iggy, mate. Great racing. So Viking Dog 2nd place. Well done, Viking Dog. BX 3rd place. Well done, BX. Chris is going to hold on to that 4th place. Well done, Chris. Marco finishes in 5th in the end. Well done, Marco. Owen 6th. Kyle will be 7th. RZ is going to finish in 8th place. Isaac Mitch is 9th. Rayo Chan 10th. Capillero GT 11th. Tieps, he's going to bring him in 12th. Ben will be 13th. And Andy Winters going to bring it home to take 14th place. So I can tell you, after that round, with only 2 rounds left to go, Viking Dog has moved up into the lead with 190 points. He is 5 points ahead now of Marco, who is in 2nd place with 187 points. BX Royals in 3rd with 177. Iggy 4th with 161. Owen is 5th with 126. Chris is 6th with 79. Isaac Mitch 7th with 72. Sick Boy is 8th with 71. Capillero GT 9th with 67. Tieps is 10th with 48. Syndra 11th with 46. Howlin' Jimmy 12th with 35. Lars is 13th with 31. Vanderspec is 14th with 26. DDK is 15th with 20. Andy Winter 16th with 16. RZ 17th with 14. Rayo Chan 18th with 14. And Kanata 19th with 6 points. And there's a couple of other names on the board as well, but I think currently not racing, possibly some of the stand-ins. So there you go, that was the stand-ins, that was the feature race. I'll be back with round 7. I've been your boy Vexed, and I will see you again next time. Good night.